Good morning, students. I am NIVEDITA SINGH of Marwari College English Department. Today, I am going to take your online classes for elective English, that is of 100 marks. As in our previous video, we have started the textbook Kaleidoscope with the friction short stories. We will continue today with the short stories lesson number 2. Class 12 Elective English Textbook Kaleidoscope Section 1 Short Stories Lesson number 2 Evelyn by James Joyce. Main characters are Miss Hill or Evelyn, her friends Darren's, Waters, Dunes and Kyo, her boyfriend Frank. First, the introduction of the story and the author. James Joyce was a famous short story writer of English language. His fiction highlights mental conflict of a sprinter who sees herself uncomfortable during her premarital phase of life, after puberty in general and domestic incongruous environment in particular. Title is also indicative and depth. It dissects what a sprinter does at her mental level at a stage when her present is not left so pleasing as the past was, and when she starts weighing in balance boyfriend and her home, the liabilities, etc. This friction is written by a major literary figure of the first quarter of the 20th century, James Joyce. His craft of narration is praiseworthy because in this fiction he has proved how a topic invisible and in the form of mental conflict can be converted in a fiction so tasty as every individual at his her premarital stage of life can see himself herself in the mirror of the plot of this friction. Evelyn, the term indicates a stage of trance when the mind dwindles at an 11th hour of important decision but cannot gather courage to plunge upon the course of action. So decided, this indicates himself prejudiced mind and attachment for the past. Now, the story. The virgin's name is Miss Hill or somewhere Evelyn. She had lost her mother before she could see her prime, and father was incongruous to her outlook and choices. Her playmates were Darren's, Waters, the Dunes, Kyo, and her brothers and sisters. This complete friction is a recollection of a state of trance. Trance is a condition of mind. She was gradually separated from T.Z. Dune because he was a dead and Waters had gone back to England. The field in which she played was also bought by a man from Belfast. Belfast is a place in England, and a building multi-storied was constructed there. She describes or thinks on the items kept in the house, acquaintance with father, and that everything, including avenue and the land. She handles domestic liabilities in full. After the death of her mother and visits to stores where perhaps she works as sales girl, she hands over the whole money she earns monthly basis from the stores, and her brother Harry also sends his monthly earning, but her father criticizes her when she asks some money as pocket expense. Ernest, her another brother, is dead premature. In these circumstances, she feels uneasiness and wants to elope with her boyfriend Frank, who is a sailor in Alan Line ship that takes departure from Ireland to Canada. This she thinks to do when even on indirect telling about Frank. Her father scolds her and forbids his daughter to have anything to say to him. The native country of that sailor was in Buenos Aires, that is a port city in Argentina, South America. That port falls near La Plata. The, thus, she feels unsafe her at home and has decided to elope with Frank from Dublin in Ireland to Buenos Aires, that is South America. She observes all qualities in Frank as he was expert in music, generous, manly, and open hearted. They had decided to shift from Dublin on a night and she had already reached at Northwell, that is at Deck. In the meantime, her consequences resist her from stepping out of her own country with a boyfriend. She is frightened of social enigma, rumors, worried of her father's health, her responsibility as a sole guardian to her two younger siblings, and worried of her service in stores. These all things start rotating in her consciousness, and she gives up that idea to elope with Frank. She heard Frank calling her by name in the station, mournful whistle of the boat, but she watched helplessly the black mass of the boat lying in the beside the quay wall with illuminated potholes. She feels as if Frank has held her hand and pulling towards stations, but she could not leave her grip on the railing. However, she finally declined to go with Frank in his native land at Buenos Aires, South America. And this is the end of the story. We will start another chapter in our next video.